Hey all, got an update for you here on the 120. Got some changes, some additions. So I have those albino tinfoil barbs in there. Those suckers got 8. They are no longer with us. They were expensive fish food. I never saw it happen. Literally, it's like the third night I had them. Didn't see any damage on them at all, and they were gone. Today I just went and picked up a couple fish. Only one that went in here is about a 7-inch Jack Dempsey. It's down, it just was out a minute ago. It's way back here. I'll see if when it comes out again, I'll feature it. But I had to do a huge kind of fish shuffle. You know, I have this 120, I have a 65 gallon, and I have a 29 gallon. The 29 gallon was a kid fish tank. I had just some community fish in there. The tank, the 65, was a mixed community of some cichlids that were grow outs and some community fish as well. And long story short, I got a pair of convicts, which I'll show you in a second, for the kid fish tank, because I thought that would actually be more entertaining. Show the kids, you know, breeding, they love babies, like the whole thing will be fun. But in that tank, in that 29 kid tank, I had snails and frogs, so I moved those upstairs. But then the cichlids that were up there were starting to pick on the frogs. I had to move the loaches. I have 2 clown loaches and a yo-yo loach that were left over from another tank. Oh, here's the Jack Dempsey out. It's a real beaut. It's the biggest fish now. But anyway, so I had to move a bunch of fish because, you know, loaches will eat snails. And so I had to upgrade. Here is a Fusco, a baby Fusco that is, hopefully will make it. It's pretty small. Here's a redhead Tapajos, which is pretty small. Who else did I have to promote early here? Over here, there's a pike cichlid and a VC10. Try to get a better shot of them if they come out. There's also an electric blue Jack Dempsey, which I don't see. So, you know, fingers crossed with those fish. All these fish I just added, really. This jewel cichlid, here's the electric blue, which is a gorgeous fish when it comes into the light. I'm sure they're all going to be hiding these smaller fish for some time. And again, hopefully they make it. Here's the VC10 and the Tapajos redhead earth eater. It's the VC10 back there. So anyways, the 120, I also got this giant rock from the person I got the Jack Dempsey from, which I just threw in there, you know, to help. Oh yeah, I also got this jaguar, which is only about 2-3 inches, and of course is going to get turned into a monster and will probably end up in its own tank at some point, but doing just fine. I am excited. I've always wanted to keep a jaguar cichlid, and I have seen people have success, you know, when they're younger in a community tank. And of course I'm going to keep a close eye on that sucker, as the Parachromis family is notorious for beast mode, tank boss and destroy all life attitude. But yeah, I just want to give you an update. You know, what's happening in this tank. I rescaped it again. You know, it's always good rescaping your tank when you add new fish, if you can. You know, with cichlids, it breaks up the territory, kind of their patterns, and gives everyone a better chance. Also keeping the lights off. I've had the lights off since I got that Jack Dempsey in here, and just turned them on to make this video to give you a quick update. But yeah, let me know if you have any questions. You know, I'll monitor all of this. At this point, I don't have a lot of options if any of these smaller fish that I've added are getting picked on. That's why I'm going to also put that rock in, is to create hiding spots. You know, I'm just trying to create. I mean, there really are places to go. Oh, the other fish that I did add is a Delhaize Beischer, which is definitely hiding right now, because it's really, a lot of these fish I was holding off on, like this pike cichlid, I mean, it's big enough. It's just not as big as I wanted. And basically I jumped. There was the two free fish. Here's the electric blue Jack Dempsey, which does not have its color as it did upstairs, of course, because now it's like, oh crap, I'm not the boss. That fish is tiny in comparison to some of these. So I had an opportunity to get two free fish. The Jack Dempsey, which is a beaut. Really appreciate Jack Dempsey's. Had a couple in the past, and the Jaguar. So I just went for it, and it kind of screwed up my tank system as far as my 3 tanks. But sometimes you just gotta go for it, and nature will find its way. And it sucks when you lose fish, and hopefully I don't. But it's with any organic alive systems, there's going to be life and death. And of course we do everything we can to prevent that. And sometimes, especially in this hobby, like you have limited options. None of us have unlimited funds or unlimited space or time and energy just to have a bazillion tanks and whatever. 3 tanks to me is plenty. I've had many thoughts of like for a while I just had this one large tank, which was great in terms of maintenance, but it's fun having other tanks. You have a lot more options, grow outs, getting the kids involved, having a tank up in the bedroom is nice. So you have more options, but there's certain times if I'm trying to keep these animals alive and well, if I had kept those clown loaches up, those snails would have got slurped up. And again, it's like depending on what stage of life you're in. I have a family. My wife. I try to do things that they enjoy, and she really likes snails and she likes frogs. And if I kept those cichlids in there and those loaches, by tomorrow morning, those snails and those frogs would be gone. And it's just nice to have buy-in from your family members. So yeah, I would have liked these clown loaches to put on more size before coming in here, but they seem okay, and there are a lot of hiding spots, and I will feed heavy for some time. It's another thing you can do is, if you're sometimes fish can just be aggressive or start picking on a fish, and then their instincts kick in and they feel weakness and they'll just go and go and go until it's dead. But if they're not hungry, that helps a lot. So I tend to even overfeed a little bit when I'm entering new fish, or if I think there's going to be any kind of challenges like this. It's pretty precarious in my mind. Again, this Fusco is freaking tiny. If these fish were hungry, I mean, the Fuscos are, luckily they can, they're one of the more feisty Africans. So I'm hopeful. I've been wanting a Fusco for a long time. Beautiful fish. If you don't know what a Fusco is, it looks a lot like the Venustus, which I don't see right now. Oh, here it is. So here's the Venustus. Some people call it giraffe cichlid. It looks a lot like this, except instead of the yellow, it's like similar patterning, except for the yellow, it's blue. So, and it's a little different than that, but generally. So it's a very beautiful fish. It gets large, 8 to 10 inches. It's a really cool fish. So we'll see. Other than that, not as a lot changed, but we'll see. I am very hopeful that we have no casualties in this exchange. I'll show you quickly the new Convict pair. So this is the kid tank, and so this was sold to me as a mated pair, and I've never bred convicts. I've never bred any fish on purpose. I've had some Africans, some Mbuna breed, a Kenyi, and actually a Kenyi and a Demasani bred, which was pretty cool. But yeah, if you have any pointers as far as my layout here, I have no idea. I haven't done any research. The guy that sold this to me gave me this clay pot. So I haven't done a lot of research, and I just threw them in here. And so I will. But if you have any ideas or tips, go ahead and leave a comment. But yeah, and once they breed, I'll do a video on these. My plan is, which some people of course are going to have mixed feelings about, if you haven't guessed it already, is I'm going to use the babies for feeders for the 120, the big community that I was just showing you. So yeah, I mean, these are prolific breeders. They can breed every 2 weeks to a month in the right conditions, and that's going to create a lot of food. And honestly, again, for me, it's all about doing this economically. You know, this can be a really expensive hobby. And fish food, depending on what you're buying, isn't that expensive, but it's also going to be really fun for the kids. If you've ever done feeders with African cichlids or South American cichlids, it can be really fun. And this way I'm ensuring that they're going to be very healthy. You know, when you get feeders from the pet store, they're typically not in the greatest health, and then you're compromising your fish through, poor food. So yeah, they look good. This first time I ever kept convicts as well. And everyone always raves about them. It's like the most underrated cichlid. Obviously, breeding easily is really like rewarding, but just overall personality. And that's why I wanted them in here as far as the kid tank. You know, I had a goldfish, a fancy goldfish, and some neon tetras and some other stuff. But as far as personality, especially of course when they breed, the kids will be really into that. But personality, cichlids, they're one of the best as far as personality. So I think it'll be more enjoyable for them to watch. Especially of course once they start laying the eggs and get the wigglers, and then some fry swimming around. I think it's been cool. So keep you posted on this. But yeah, let me know if you have any questions or comments. Appreciate all the support, and see you at the next video. All right, thanks so much.